The first thing that I usually tell people is, okay, then you can start doing these or taking care of your profile today. First thing that you must go there and see the URL of your profile. You can modify that. Once you create your profile in LinkedIn, LinkedIn is gonna give you your name and a bunch of numbers beside your name. At least remove the numbers. Try to keep your name, say clear. Well, we are in Ireland. In Brazil, sometimes we have 5 names. So use the first, the last, or perhaps the first, the middle name. But use 2 names. If you cannot use 2 names, it is taken. Use 3 names. You know, try to adapt to the country you are instead of, of using what you had there in Brazil. Okay, or sorry, in a different country or whatever, but you have Spanish people here, perhaps also big names. So anyway, so you got the point. Keep it short and keep it clear and keep it consistent with the other networks. If you have your Twitter account and your Facebook account, and then you use there, John Smith. Of course, John Smith, it's gonna be taken, but John Smith on Facebook, it's yours. Go there on LinkedIn and also use John Smith. And also on your Twitter, John Smith. And then you cannot use John Smith, John M. Smith. That's your middle name there, John M. Smith. Change on Facebook, change on Twitter, change on LinkedIn, change on Instagram if you can, all the networks. The more you can do it, it's better, because if you create the habit of putting content out there, the robots, the indexers, Google, Facebook, they will understand and they will relate you with that technology, with that industry. If you are in health, and then you start creating a lot of content about health on LinkedIn, and also you do that on Facebook, those are 2 separate networks. But if you are using the same name and even the same picture, we will talk about it, the robots, the systems, they know, and you gotta trust that the systems are working on your benefit, because they index your CVs, they index your profiles. People search for a person who knows that on this country on that date. A person who did that on that country on that date. See, all those things. And if you are creating content, all those terms related to your industry will be associated to your name. So imagine if you have different names in different networks, you are a different person anywhere. So you are actually working in multiple streams instead of having the same streams connected to your own benefit, right? On LinkedIn, it is also important to invest in a good picture. There's a slide here only to talk about the picture, the ideal picture for your LinkedIn profile. But you can also do it is to change the header image. You know, on LinkedIn, usually they give you the blue backdrop there. You can always go there and change that for a free picture that it is related to your work. It can be a picture of an event that you spoke, let's say, or a meeting that you have a photo, or a team that you belonged. See, use that space. It's a very rich space area that you can use for associating you with an industry. You are in IT, go there and put any picture with a computer or something. It looks silly, but when people hit your profile, that split of a second that they are judging you, our brains create the association between you and that industry. And that keeps, images. We interpret images way faster, way better than words and names, right? So you are actually working to create these associations. The industry, your name, your picture, the image, the content you'll be creating until you are known, until you are a reference on that field. Don't believe that you cannot be a reference in your field. You are already a reference. You are not just telling anyone. Once you start telling anyone, everyone believes it. All right? The tagline, the short story, and the achievements. So 3 main blocks on LinkedIn you have there, right? The tagline is that the sentence right there underneath your picture, that usually people use the position, or working on the company ABC, or industrial engineer, or health professional, or open to opportunities. That's not ideal. Ideally, you are going to write something that delivers a message. It's a very important piece of real estate on your LinkedIn that you can use to sell your value proposition. We'll talk more about that. I'm going to give you examples how you can really put out there, together with your picture, what you do for a company. I reduce costs when I do this, and that. I saved people, blah, 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 blah. I create medicines to help. See, I work with research that will cure the cancer. Both things. That what helps the most. See, this is a technique that has been brought by especially the Americans. They do this way better than anyone else, the marketing piece. And they tell things about themselves. That's why we all think that they are better in many things, just because they tell people that they are better. That's what I want you to do it as well. You go there and tell, I am the best in doing this. You will be criticized, good, because it's working, all right? And underneath your tagline and your picture, you have your summary. It's a huge block of text that you should be writing your story. This is where you are going to write how you started, what you're looking for, your situation, why you moved from the industry A to B, why did you take time off to learn English, why did you take time off to take care of your kids. Write these, but write that not excusing yourself, but inside your own story. 3 to 4 paragraphs telling, I started in 1994, I created my first, I'm in IT, right? So I created my first system and then I had 12 clients and then I moved to another big company in Brazil. That's my story, right? So I moved to a big company in Brazil. I did this and that for 10 years until I decided that I had to move abroad. And then I received an offer from a company in Belgium. And then I moved, I packed and I moved. And then I learned, blah, blah, blah. And then I took my master degree, blah, 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 then on the university, this and that. And then I moved to Ireland, I did that, until I created my business. And now I am selling this, and that. That's my story. And what happens with stories? Everybody likes reading them. They are not too long, they are not too short, and then they explain where you are now. See, without apologizing. The companies don't feel like the companies, they don't like the gaps. Actually, let me rephrase that, okay? The recruiters, they don't like the gaps because it's too cumbersome to then convince a company to take you on board. So they move on to the next candidates. But you are no longer depending on recruiters to find a job. And your LinkedIn is it's much more than your CV. It's the ability that you have to sell yourself. Every little piece of keywords that you include in your story, tagline, in your career, it's being indexed and associated with your name. You guys know what I mean by indexed. It's, when people search for the terms, the computer needs to, the systems, they need to bring the search results, right? So if you have these keywords associated with your name, you will be searched when people search those terms. You will be found. That's what you want. It's being indexed, yeah. Sorry, it's a technical term perhaps, but
just to explain, to put in your words.
Yes. And finally, okay, on LinkedIn you also have the ability to describe your career path. All right, and then you should be more technical there, describing, of course, the name of the company, the date range, year 2011 to 2013, the company ABC, and then the title. Never forget, that's where you should put the title, not on your tagline, not on your summary. See, people like seeing the titles, the companies like seeing the titles together with the description. In this company, I was a systems engineer. In this company, I was a developer. In this company, I was a graphic designer. All right? And then you should describe what you did in these companies. And then you describe these in two ways. You list bullet points, your responsibilities. I was in charge of doing this, and that. I had 5 people in my team. Every month I was supposed to send reports to the management. And then you create a different section per each career, okay? For the key achievements. That's one of the most important things on your LinkedIn, because you must tell people what you've done it good for each of those companies. I made this company save money by doing this, and that. was part of a team who helped them save $1 million because of this, and that. I created a new methodology for this, and that. All right? And again, every term, it's important. If you have a term that has many other synonyms, right? Reuse those synonyms because you wanna amplify the number of keywords associated with your name. All right? And finally, don't use the storytelling or the tagline to put your phone number, your contact details, or your citizenship. So, see, I see sometimes people putting on the tagline there, the picture, Italian citizen. All right, so that's the only thing that you have to offer. You are an Italian citizen. You don't have anything else to offer. You should include that information, of course, because it's a leverage, right? But you don't use these as the only thing good that you have on your benefit. Don't show that you want to be on top of other professionals in Ireland just because of that. Show because of your own value. The contact details, you will display your Facebook account, your Twitter account, even if you use only for personal purposes, put it there so people know that you are not hiding anything. All right? And if you have something on those networks that compromise you, you should take care of removing a picture here and there. You go too much to partying and all. That's fine. You display that. I do that myself. I display trips and all. I do that all the time. You gotta show success to get more success, right? You do that. But if you only do that, you will be known by the guy who is always partying. You don't want to know about job or stuff. You just told me today that you cycled, right? All right, a picture with you just finished cycling, LinkedIn and all, whatever, man. Put it there. Really. Okay, if you only do that, you will start receiving job offers or, hey, can you coach me? Oh, I need a six-pack. Can you coach me? You know what I mean? But because they start seeing you as a trainee guy. I'm not sure if you are a trainee person, but if you do that, together with a lot of technical things or related to your industry, they start seeing you differently. Oh, how nice. The guy wakes up at 5 a.m., works out in the morning. What are the number of hidden messages in these? He's not a lazy person. He's fit. He's healthy. See my point here? With just a single picture that you were displaying to people.
So for example, I'm looking for a job in the area of human resources.
Okay.
It's okay if I put a photo in like me singing, Is that okay?
Here? Sorry, what type of photo? I didn't get it.
If my photo would be singing, like a photo singing. But I'm looking at a job in human resources. It's the same.
What does that show me? It shows that you are a people person. Do you need to be a people person to work with human resources?
Yes.
Are you gonna put a picture of you singing every day? No. Do that like here and there. You must create a balance. If you have 95% of useful content, you are allowed to put some silly stuff. It's not silly, but you got my point. See that? We'll talk more about content, okay?